First, I want to thank Pastor Seaman for believing in me, even if I did not initially believe in myself. I want to take a few minutes to talk to you this morning, well, it's afternoon now, on a familiar text that we have all heard or have read more than once. And that text is Matthew 9:18 to 26. That was read in your hearing by Director Ryan, my son. Mark 5:22 to 43 and Luke 8:40 to 56 have the same account, but both are a good deal longer. My topic today is faith. Have you ever had someone say to you, just have faith, everything will be all right? People often say this to comfort and encourage those that are struggling, living with an illness, facing a serious problem, or a stressful situation. Having faith means to have trust, confidence, and hope in something far beyond what we see. Yes. There is hope in God's promises. Faith is trusting and believing in complete assurance and being confident in God. Amen. By living in faith shows our service and obedience to God, who will increase our faith if we continue to draw closer to Him. Here are 4 scriptures of faith that I have come to love and appreciate. The first one is 2 Corinthians 5:7. And that says, for we walk by faith, not by sight. Ephesians 2:8 says, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. The third one, Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And my 4th scripture is Hebrews 11:6, which says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. I'm sure that all of us remember when we were young, some time ago for me, and our birthday was approaching. We became excited and anxious. We knew that we would receive certain gifts and other special goodies. Some of these gifts would be a surprise. Birthdays combine assurance and anticipation, and so does faith. Faith is the confidence based on past experiences that God's new and fresh surprises will be ours. 2 words describe faith: confidence and assurance. These 2 qualities need a secure beginning and a secure endpoint. The beginning point is believing in God's character. He is who he says. Amen. Amen. The end point is believing in God's promise. He will do what he says. Amen. All right. When we believe that God will fulfill his promise, even though we do not see those promises materializing yet, we demonstrate true faith. Because it's Father's Day today, let us follow this story of a father, a powerful man of authority, and his faith in Jesus in my 3 points. Point number 1, Jairus, a man of authority. Point number 2, Jesus, the ultimate authority. And point 3, authority over death.
Amen.
Point number 1, Jairus, a man of authority. From the text you heard that Director Ryan read, word was spreading about the miracles that Jesus was doing. This was long before cell phones, WhatsApp, Facebook, and whatever else you want to say. Back in those times, people spread news by just talking to other people, and the people who had seen these miracles of Jesus told others, and so on and so on. God had not sent a prophet for many years, so people were not used to seeing miracles. When Jesus arrived teaching a new message about God's kingdom and performing these miracles, it was a talk of the town and the countryside. The Jewish leaders, however, did not follow Jesus and were very angry because what Jesus was teaching was different to what they were teaching. Beginning at verse 18 of Matthew, while he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, my daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live. Mark 5:22 and Luke 8:41 inform us that the ruler's name was Jairus, a powerful man of authority in the community. Jairus would also have heard about the miracles that Jesus had done or was doing and put his faith in Jesus. Jairus was desperately seeking Jesus because he had a really big problem and he needed help fast. Have you ever had a very serious problem? Have you ever needed Jesus this much? This man of authority had faith in Jesus enough to kneel before him, and Jews didn't kneel to anybody.
That's right.
Don't you think that the crowd was staring and talking about this man of authority, Jairus, kneeling at the feet of Jesus?
Yep. Yep.
Jairus didn't care if people were talking about him or staring at him.
Come on now.
He had a very serious problem.
Yes. Yes.
His little daughter was dying.
Yes.
Jairus went to Jesus because he believed that Jesus had the power to heal his daughter and had the confidence in Jesus' authority. Jesus was also pleased that Jairus had faith to come to him. We should not be afraid to bring our needs to Jesus. He has the power to help when no one else can.
Amen. Amen.
Having the authority that he had, Jairus could probably demand and have anything he wanted. And what he wanted could only come from one source.
That's right. Yep.
Point 2, Jesus, the ultimate authority. And that source is Jesus. When you come to the end of your rope,
Come on now.
end of your religion,
Yeah.
it's time to kneel to Jesus.
Yes. Amen.
Jairus came to Jesus because Jesus is the ultimate authority. Remember, Jairus had authority in the community where he lived,
Yes.
but Jesus' authority out-trumps Jairus' authority. That word trump comes up again.
Such a time as this.
Jairus had confidence in Jesus, the ultimate authority, but his confidence is hindered because someone delays his process. the healing of his 12-year-old daughter is interrupted by a woman who had been sick for 12 years. 12-year-old daughter and 12 years of sick. While the woman gets healed, Jairus gets a message from his household that it doesn't make sense going to his daughter now. It is over.
Come on now.
So Jairus' faith was being tested because he is hearing from his servants that it was too late.
Yes.
Should he stop in his tracks or continue to walk with Jesus, the healer? He had seen that Jesus had the power over sickness. Well, would he have the power to over death?
Come on now. Come on now.
Mark 5:35 and 36 says, while he spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, thy daughter is dead. Why troublest the master any further? As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said unto the ruler of the synagogue, be not afraid, only believe. Point number 3, authority over death.
Yes.
When Jesus and Jairus arrived at the house, it was a house of death. Typical Jewish home after a death.
Notice. Yep.
They had already started the grieving process.
Yes.
As you read, flutists and mourners were making noise and weeping.
Yes.
Matthew 9:24 says, he said unto them, give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. The people were mocking Jesus because this all sounded incredible to them, because the great healer did not get to the house in time.
In their time.
In their time, yes.
That's right.
The people felt that Jesus had gone too far to want to try his skill on a day present and would make a fool of himself. Jesus took 3 of his disciples in the house with him, Peter, James, and John, along with the father and the mother of the child.
Everybody else.
Nobody else was allowed in.
That's right.
Mark 5:41 says, and he took the damsel by the hand and said unto her, Talitha cumi, which is be interpreted, damsel, I say unto thee, arise. And straightway the damsel arose. Jesus had demonstrated that he has authority over death and is able to turn dying and death into life. He showed that faith in him would change despair into hope
Yes.
and sorrow into joy. Do you have faith as Jairus did? Do you trust that Jesus' way is always the right way?
Amen. Yes.
When you are faced with a very difficult problem, situation, will you bring it to Jesus? Thank you, applicants.